Now back over to Luke Johnson. Johnson working on the near half wall. Tries to throw a shot on Falloon, and he scores! St. Cloud has tied this one in the third period. Driving in is Plowman. He'll dump it off to Blair. Left-handed three-pointer off the back iron on the near wing. Now it's Mussman and Donaldson. They have numbers. Donaldson, two hands on the fast break. She's able to bring that one through into the St. Cloud zone. She works around a defender, and she goes bar down on Arvidsson. And Alexandria draws first blood in the third period.
Good serve, good receive. Now here's a swing from Rossi. Great kill. The freshman from South Dakota producing.
To not pull the trigger on that one.
LaPointe with the 2-2. Ground ball to Trees. She dives, picks it up, throw to first, and they got her. What a make-up play by Sydney Trees. Diving towards second base, makes the stop, hops to her knees, throws it over to McFarland at first. She makes the grab. 2 outs in the top half of the second for St. Cloud State.
Tip-off.
Meyer and Onwuka will start on the tip-off, and it's won by Diamond, so the Huskies will start the game with their first offensive possession. Huskies wearing their white uniforms, traveling right to left. UMD in the maroon and gold. Trayvon Marshall with it, driving in the lane. He'll dump it off to Robinson. Finish with the right hand to kick things off here in the first half.
Boy, Robertson has been impressive his freshman year, and boy, he's not afraid to have some dynamic dunks, and of course, again, perfectly set up by a nice attack by Trayvon Marshall.
He is not afraid to get up and go as the Huskies lead by 2 with 19:25 left to go here in the first half. And quickly the Bulldogs answer with a right-handed finish from Alex Illikainen, the transfer from the University of Wisconsin. We're all tied up at 2 apiece.
That was one thing I was wondering. St. Cloud loves to have switches, found the mismatch. How is that rotational defense going to help out so far? It's hurt the Huskies on the first attempt.
Here's Roberts once again. He'll try a three-point attempt on the near side. It's an offensive rebound by Onwuka. He falls to the ground, and the Bulldogs are able to capitalize on the turnover. Here's Entwisel with it on the elbow. He'll dump it off down low to Blair. Blair over to Illikainen with Onwuka on him on the far block. He'll go back up to the point to Brandon Meyer. Now back over to Entwisel, finding a cutting Brandon Meyer, and he'll finish with an easy layup over Anthony Roberts. 6'8" on 6'6", and 6'8" gets the advantage there. Bulldogs grab their first lead of the game, 4-2, with 18:30 left to go here in the first half. Here's Marshall with it at the free throw line. He'll dump it back off to Onwuka at the top of the key. He thought about a shot. He'll drive into the lane. He loses possession, and it goes out of bounds on the baseline, so there's an empty possession for St. Cloud State. Now the Bulldogs on the other end, they'll have to work through the full court press, and they do a long full court pass to Illikainen down low on the block, but the Huskies are able to recover. Here's Roybisha with it down low. Roberts on him. He has no choice but to pass it back up to the point for Blair, who's standing on the logo. And now Roybisha back with it at the top of the key. Tiertishnik on the defensive change. Roybisha picks up his dribble. 17:50 left to go here in the first half. Illikainen with a left-handed hook, and that one misses everything, and it'll roll out of bounds, and now it's in favor of the Huskies.
That's the kind of rotation you want to see from this Husky squad. A lot of transitional, the weak side help coming in. They kind of cut off those passing lanes and good active hands and good straight up defense by Tiertishnik on the other end.
4-2, 17:45 left to go here in the first half. Huskies trailing in this one. Marshall driving in the lane. He'll pull it from the free throw line, and it rolls off the back iron. Donaldson with an offensive rebound, and he's able to put up this second chance layup.
Yeah, rebounding is going to be another big factor for St. Cloud State. You know, that was a tough going against Sioux Falls. And of course, you got some big monsters down low from Duluth, so the rebounding would be interesting to see. So a good side to get an offensive rebound and the putback.
Entwisel driving into the lane for Duluth on the ensuing possession. He'll dump it off to Illikainen, who will finish with the easy left-handed hook shot. Put the Bulldogs back up by 2 points.
That's what Illikainen did at University of Wisconsin, where he feels the defender and just works him down on that restricted arc.
Marshall driving in again. He'll dump it back off to the three-point line for Onwuka. Now back out to Marshall at the three-point line. Driving, it's tipped away by Entwisel. The ball is still loose, and Illikainen will pick it up at the half-court line. And now here's Roybisha with it, driving on Roberts. He'll dump it off to Brandon Meyer. 22 points a game for Meyer, the native of Superior, Wisconsin. Now the ball back up to the point for Entwisel. 16:39 left to go here in the first half. Good pass there by Illikainen to Blair. The cutting Blair finishes with the left hand to put the Bulldogs up by 4.
Man, that was a perfect give and go. Just reading that the defense you saw earlier where he's just going to attack with the hook shot, but just feeds off that nice backdoor cut and a perfect pass for Ilakainen.
On the other end, it's Onwuka. Battling his way down in the post. He tries a turnaround jumper, rolls in and out. 16-10 left to go here in the first half. Huskies trailing by 4. And now the Bulldogs looking to tack onto this lead. Meyer passes it down low to Ilakainen with Onwuka on him. Ilakainen spinning. Diamond falls, and we'll have a call here, a blocking call on Onwuka. Ilakainen finished the bucket, but they're going to say the foul came before the shot. It's the first personal foul on Diamond Onwuka, so the Bulldogs will have an inbound opportunity on the baseline. And Weisel, he finds Ilakainen, and now here's another quick foul on Diamond Onwuka. So in a span of about 5 seconds, Onwuka gets 2 fouls, so Oliver Ernval will check in for him.
You can kind of tell with the disgusted look on Matt Reimer that, you know, not quite often you want to go to a bench player because of foul trouble within the first 4 minutes of a game. So, again, that's going to be interesting to see how, you know, the size matches up with Ilakainen, who's been working well down low in the paint.
On the inbound, it's tapped away by Donaldson. He'll finish with the right hand on the fast break finish.
Good job by Donaldson, active hands, and you know, it's even tough. He had that one-on-one look, but that hesitation that he had was able to get that separation to go to the defender to kind of cheat, go past him and get the clear lane for the layup.
15:40 left. Good pump fake there by Entwisel on the elbow. Tries to dump it down low to Ilakainen. He loses possession of it. He tried to plead his case, saying a Husky touched it, but the refs will say otherwise. So there's an empty possession for the Bulldogs. Huskies trailing by 2 points here. Marshall taking it past the timeline. He'll dump it off to Roberts, who drives into the lane. There'll be a whistle here. And I think that's a blocking call on Meyer. That's his first personal. First team foul for the Bulldogs. The Huskies will have an opportunity to inbound on their baseline. Back inside of the Husky Dome. 1 inning in the books here for the second day of the Kelly Loss Invitational. In this matchup, it's the Huskies and the Golden Eagles. St. Cloud leading after the first, 1-0. They were able to pick up 2 hits and grab a base runner and a score off of an error by Minnesota Crookston. What'd you like out of the Huskies? They didn't score 5 runs like they did yesterday.
Right, I mean, it
brought it back a little bit, but maybe we'll see some consistent scoring all around the game.
Right, and then tough to match that 5 spot that they put up in the opening inning yesterday. But you saw some good heads-up base running at times, but then it was also poor base running that kind of undid them there in that in the first inning. So you would have liked to have seen, you know, with runners on second and third with 1 out, you would like to see 1 or 2 more up on the board, but still, a lead is a lead, and it's a good place to start for the Huskies.
The cleanup hitter for Minnesota Crookston will lead off the second inning as the first pitch from LaPointe, just on the outside half at the knees, reaches for a strike. LaPointe, 1 strikeout in that first inning. Kept Crookston quiet as she'll deliver the 0-1. That one popped back into foul territory on the right side behind the Husky bench. Query, the junior catcher for Minnesota Crookston, had an errant throw into the outfield, which allowed Keating to score in the the bottom half of the first, but then was able to gun out Estrada a little bit later in the inning as the 0-2 misses high and outside.
And Sidney LaPointe got to be careful here. Cassie Query, in 12 at-bats this season, already has 2 home runs, so obviously a threat to go deep here at any time.
LaPointe gears up for the 1-2. She'll wind and deliver from the circle. That one misses low and in the dirt. Good job by Istavanovich to pop down on her knees and stop that one, even though there's nobody on base. 2-2 count to the cleanup hitter for Minnesota Crookston. Here's the pitch from LaPointe. That one misses well high, and we'll push it to a full count. Good crowd on hand. It was a great crowd yesterday. 78 people in attendance. Got to imagine there's more here today at the Husky Dome. Here's the 3-2. That one grounded to short. Collecting and firing to first. And that one rolls out of the glove of Haley McFarland. Sydney Trees, a little too much oomph on that one. She had to gather herself maybe one too many times, as that was a, you never know what bounce you're going to take off the turf. Yesterday there were a lot of weird bounces in the game against the Raiders, but so there's the first error of the game for St. Cloud State and the first base run of the game for Minnesota Crookston.
It was a good strong throw there from shortstop over to first base, but yeah, just a little too hot to handle for McFarland. That one in and out of the glove, and that puts Query on first base.
Malia Pula will grab the first one. Query going down. Great throw by Istvanovich, and she's gunned out at second base.
And how about the zip on that one? Great throw there by Istvanovich and gunning down Cassie Query at second base. I mean, that was a rocket.
Yeah, one catcher throwing out another. Both catchers with displaying their arms in this game. I believe that one was swung on for a strike as well. LaPointe working quickly, and she gets that one on the inside half for strike two. Malia Pula at the plate for Minnesota Crookston. She's showing bunt, brings it back, and that one a dribbler goes foul into the Crookston bench.
So far this season, Malia Pula in 16 at-bats, .563 batting average. So very good here for Crookston, and you got to be very, very important here to make sure you're getting out if you're Sydney LaPointe.
Here's LaPointe. That one, another foul ball. Hits off the foot of head coach Travis Owens for Minnesota Crookston. On deck for the Golden Eagles, we'll see freshman Alyssa Stillman, the second baseman. One out here in the top half of the second. Huskies leading 1-0 after one run in the bottom of the first. LaPointe's pitch misses in the dirt for the at-bat's first ball. LaPointe, the sophomore, was a big arm last year for St. Cloud State, helping them get to that 43 win mark. Here's a big drive on the ensuing pitch by Pula. That one goes well to the left and foul, but it had the distance to reach the wall if it was fair. So Pula still trying to stay alive in the box, working with two strikes. And LaPointe wastes no time. Pula showing bunt, brings it back. That one, a drop ball. A good hold there by Pula. 2-2 now.
Yeah, good pitch there by LaPointe, just trying to get Pula to bite on that one a little bit low. But good plate discipline there by the Crookston batter to not pull the trigger on that one.
LaPointe with the 2-2, ground ball to Trees. She dives, picks it up, throw to first, and they got her. What a make-up play by Sydney Trees, diving towards second base, makes the stop, hops to her knees, throws it over to McFarland at first. She makes the grab. 2 outs in the top half of the second for St. Cloud State. McFarland and Trees quickly running to each other and hugging. They didn't want to see another instance of what happened earlier in the inning.
And a great throw by Trees, but don't forget the stretch there by McFarland to get out and make sure that she secures that ball over at first base.
Here's Stillman, her first pitch, followed back over towards the St. Cloud bench on the first base side. So Crookston working with 2 outs here in the top of the second. They're trailing to the Huskies 1-0. LaPointe working with a 0-1 count. Her second pitch, a beautiful drop ball in there on the outer half for strike 2.
LaPointe doing some real good work here in this second inning so far. I mean, the whole game so far. And be interesting to see if the Huskies can get out of this one 1-2-3.
0-2 from Stillman. Got her at the knees. Huskies get out of the top half of the second with no harm after giving up a base runner. We'll be back in just a moment for more action between the Huskies and the Golden Eagles from day 2 of the Kelly Loss Invitational on the KVSC Sports Stream.
This is St. Cloud High School Hockey on 97.5 KVEX St. Cloud.
Back inside of the Moorhead Sports Center for Section 8AA high school hockey action between St. Cloud and Moorhead. Moorhead leading after 2 periods of play, 2-1 over St. Cloud. There's only one goal scored in that second period. That came off the stick of Max Dronin on the power play. That was at the 15:57 mark. St. Cloud will start this period on the man disadvantage. Sam Oster is in the box. Hooking. He was called right at the end of the second period. He's got 25 seconds left to serve there. So St. Cloud and the Spuds. We'll hop back to it here in the third period. St. Cloud wearing their black uniforms, Moorhead in the orange. St. Cloud moving left to right, and we are underway in the third period from the Moorhead Sports Center. Opening draw of the period is won by the Spuds, and Maloinen will grab it in neutral ice and work it into the St. Cloud zone with ease. Working around Sean Davidson, he'll wrap it up for Triggs. Now down low is Jess behind the net of Bertram. Back over to Carter Johnson, the centerman of this top line for the Spuds. Now Johnson with it near the slot, working in front on a shot on Bertram right into the St. C logo. And he'll freeze that one. 16:32 left in the third period. 24-15 shots on goal in favor of the Spuds. 2-1 Spuds leading. We'll have a draw to the right side of Bertram. Falloon and Triggs will take it. It's won by Falloon, picked up by Sean Davidson, who'll work behind the net. Find Johnson, now back down low to Davidson, over to his D partner Warner, taken away by Jess, but a good body laid there by Corey Warner to get him off the puck, and now Davidson will have it. He'll try to clear it out, taken away by Jess. He'll send it back in. Now Warner on the far side will dump it up to Luke Johnson. He didn't see it. 16 minutes left to go in the third period. Spuds leading 2-1. Triggs in the neutral zone tries to get it into the St. Cloud zone, and it's taken away by Corey Warner. Now Jess fighting with August Falloon. Falloon taps it away with his skate, and he'll pick it up on the far corner in St. Cloud territory. Triggs now with it, up top to Greg Wire. Throws an errant shot into the direction of Bertram. That one will go into the corner. It's picked up by August Falloon. Now back down low to Jess, and there's a weak shot onto the pads of Bertram, and he'll freeze that one once again. Score of the Vikings game, 14-10. That one's just about ready to go into halftime. 49ers leading over there. 15:39 left in the third period. 2-1 Spuds leading. There's a draw to the left side of Bertram this time. And quickly off the draw, there's a shot by Dronin, and it's batted away by Bertram into the corner. Now Dronin working down low behind the net in St. Cloud territory. Spuds moving right to left. They have the puck right now. Here's a Verbo with it, throwing his elbow into Oster. The power play did expire. Pretty uneventful 25 seconds of power play to start the period. Fear with it. Loses possession in the near corner to Max Rude. Things are quiet here in this third period in the Moorhead Sports Center. Puck into neutral ice. It's going to be picked up by Max Rude and then taken away by the Spuds. Here come the other end. Good toe drag, and there's a backhand shot by Fear, and it goes over the head of Bertram, and now it's picked up by Max Rude on the far corner. Rude up top to Warner, goes through his stick, and Fish will dump that one from neutral ice back into the St. Cloud zone, and that was Sean Davidson sending it down the length of the ice, and we'll have an icing called here. 14:38 left in the third period. 2-1 Spuds leading. 24-15 shots on goal in favor of Moorhead. We'll have another draw to the right side, the near side of Bertram. Taking it is Simonson, and it's won by Spicer. There's a quick shot from the point here. Spicer on the rebound, and it's batted away by St. Cloud and put into neutral ice. 14:25 left to go in the third and final period of regulation. 2-1 Spuds leading. St. Cloud grabbing their first goal in program history today, coming off the stick of Kyle Christian, and we'll have a delayed penalty call here. They'll call a trip, or a hold, excuse me, on the Spuds. So St. Cloud will go on the power play. 2-1 Spuds leading. Going to the box is Gavin Lingberg with the hold. Or excuse me, not Max Dronin. He'll go to the box. That's their second line centerman. We'll go in for the hold. So St. Cloud will have an opportunity on the power play. Draw to the right side of Hodges, won by St. Cloud. It goes past the stick of Warner into neutral ice. Now here's a foot race by Verbo and Warner. It's won by Warner. Now over to Rude, back behind the net to Bertram. And Warner will grab possession. Corey Warner bringing it up for St. Cloud. Over to Max Roon, the sophomore, into neutral ice. 9:10 left to go in the period. Bad zone entry. There was a miscommunication by a pair of St. Cloud players, and they couldn't get possession of it. 1:30 left to go on the power play for St. Cloud. Warner working up from his own end. Over to Max Rood on the far side in neutral ice. He'll dump it down low. Hodges will try to gain possession. Grammer will clear it down the length of the ice. So far, the power play for St. Cloud hasn't been productive today. Warner will hold possession of it behind Bertram once again. Wait for his team to set up. Now Johnson on the near side will bring it through neutral ice. Over to August Falloon. Falloon, cross ice pass to Keller. Keller working down low to Johnson. He runs into Keller, and it's batted away now onto the stick of a Spud. That's Carter Johnson working all the way around, and he wraps it around Bertram for a goal. Carter Johnson shorthanded for the Spuds. His 9th goal of the season. Still 54 seconds left on the power play for St. Cloud, and Carter Johnson gets the Spuds back onto the board here in this third period. 3-1 is your score from the Moorhead Sports Center.